Aaron Ekblad goes first overall in the NHL Draft. 4 Canadians go in the top 18 in the NBA Draft. The World Cup is down to 16 teams, and Windsor loses a great ambassador in the sports community. All of this and more on this edition of Jock Talk with Brett Hedges. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. We're shooting in the BizX Lounge at the downtown Windsor Business Accelerator building. My name is Brett Hedges. I am your host for today of Jock Talk. This is our 5th edition, and if you haven't checked it out so far, please visit our YouTube channel, Knockstrom1, and subscribe to our channel and check out all of our previous episodes, including some of our episodes of Beyond Incredible with Ashley Nicole, the Convergence Report with Mike Thomas, and Betty on the Go with Betty Goodell. Heading into the sporting news now, there's big news in the sporting world this week as the NHL and NBA are both currently holding their drafts. Some even bigger local news was heard when Belle River native Aaron Ekblad was selected first overall by the Florida Panthers in the 2014 draft yesterday. What can I say? Aaron is coming off a great season, a great major junior hockey career with the Barrie Colts that had him rated the top-ranked skater in the heading into the draft, and that's it's something that no one can really take away from him. Aaron, you're the number 1 pick in the NHL draft for a reason. You're one of the best players in your age in the world, and you completely deserve it. Just to reiterate how dominant of a season Aaron Ekblad had for the Barrie Colts this past season, in the coaches poll in 2014 of the OHL, Aaron was selected the winner of 4 categories, including best shot, hardest shot, best offensive defenseman, and best defensive defenseman. So I don't really think you're ever going to find a player that talented, that's that dominant in that many different parts of the game. So congratulations to you, Aaron. You're going to a great organization in Florida, which, how do I say this, has another Windsor influence in it. 20 years ago, actually, Ed Jovanovski was chosen number 1 by the Florida Panthers in the 1994 draft after he had a good career with the Windsor Spitfires. And apparently, Ed Jovanovski has already extended an invitation to Aaron Ekblad to stay with him during training camp and help him transition to the pro game. And that is a professional's move. Ed Jovanovski had a great career here in Windsor. He's a Windsor guy, and I can only see Aaron learning oodles and oodles of knowledge and hockey sense from Ed Jovanovski, the captain of the Florida Panthers. Ed was there for 3 years, in Florida 3 years to begin his season, but then he was traded to the Vancouver Canucks in a 7-player deal that sent Pavel Bure to Florida back in the late 90s, 97, 98. So Ed's back now. He's the Florida Panthers captain, and he's going to be a great role model for Aaron Ekblad. So good for him. Best of luck to him. We're going to be hearing lots about Aaron Ekblad in the future, I'm sure. We'll try and get some contact with him. If it's only a phone conversation, we'll try and have some content on Aaron Ekblad whenever we can get it. Not to shut the door on hockey real quick, former LaSalle Vipers forward Hunter Smith was also selected in the 2014 draft. He was selected in the 2nd round, 54th overall by the Calgary Flames. Hunter is a big forward, 6'5", 6'4", with some good hands and a hard shot. He played for the Oshawa Generals this past year, had a really good year, and he caught a lot of attention of scouts by increasing his physical play. And of course, his size also jumps up the chart at professional scouts as well. So I feel like he'll have a chance to excel in the Calgary Flames system. They're really feeding off the youth movement that's been going on the last couple seasons. And Brian Burke is on that team. So if you drafted him, it's a reason why he drafted that guy. So congratulations, Hunter Smith. Best of luck. And we'll be waiting to hear from you guys in the future. Moving on now to the NBA. Actually, you know what? We're going to take a quick little break before we go on to the NBA. We're just going to take a 30-second break. You're watching Jock Talk with Brett Hedges on xeyz.tv. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Jock Talk with Hedges. We're here at the downtown Windsor Business Accelerator building at the BizX Lounge. I am Hedges, your host. And we're moving on to the NBA draft, where a really special occasion happened last night, specifically for Canadians. Not only was it the second season in a row that a Canadian player was selected first overall by the Cleveland Cavaliers, when Andrew Wiggins was selected last night, following the footsteps of Anthony Bennett, who was drafted last year. But 3 other Canadians were taken in the top 18 of the NBA draft, which is unheard of. So big for our country in terms of notoriety for basketball and getting some respect for the players that we have north of the border here. As if you're a Toronto Raptors fan, I'm sure you've heard of the Northern Uprising that they've been marketing and quoting quite a bit, and I believe that the Northern Uprising is here. Let's start with Andrew Wiggins, the man himself. First overall for a reason. He's the best player in North America, arguably, heading into the draft. That's why he was number 1. Shooting guard out of Kansas University. Had a nice season, nice freshman season out of Kansas. Did enough to get the first overall pick, which is a lot harder than a lot of people think. Short story. When I was a student at Fanshawe College, and I hope my old roommate Darcy Comerford is watching this right now, we went to watch the Quad A basketball championships at Fanshawe College, and we walked in and we look at watching this championship game, and there's this 14-year-old kid who's 6'5" and just dominating everybody on the floor. And we looked in the program, and his name's Andrew Wiggins, and we're like, man, this Andrew Wiggins kid is legit. He is super good at basketball. And I'm not talking that he was dribbling through everybody and going through everybody. No, he was just moving everyone out of his way and posterizing anybody that came into his way. Just a man at the age of 14, a man among children, playing senior basketball in grade 9, was the best player on the floor. His team won the Quad A championship, and they won by a fair margin too. Andrew Wiggins, you are a freak of nature, and I mean that in the best way possible. Congratulations on being the first overall pick, and best of luck in the future. We're not going to overshadow what Andrew did, but we're going to talk a little bit more about the other 3 Canadians that were selected in the NBA draft in the first round last night. Selected 3rd overall is Joel Embiid. He was a center for Iowa State this past season. That's a great pick for a really struggling franchise in Philadelphia. I feel like they haven't had a presence in the post. They tried to, in quite some time, they tried to get Andrew Bynum to buy in and be their stellar post guy, but that flaked out just as much as Andrew Bynum's career has gone. A solid pick, Joel Embiid. He's got a solid work ethic. He's a long defender. He can block shots, rebound, score, and that's what you want out of a center. He's hard-nosed. He can play D. And great pick for the 76ers. Pick of the future, we'll see. Number 3 overall. He's great talent, obviously, being selected 3rd overall. Mississauga native and former Michigan Wolverine Nik Stauskas was selected with the 8th overall pick, and he's going to the Sacramento Kings, which is a great situation for him because he's an offensive player, not to take away from his defense, but he is an offensive player, and Sacramento needs a shooter from the outside that can really help them out, spread defenses out, and put the ball inside to DeMarcus Cousins, who I'm sure is really happy to have another good shooter on his team. We've got Rudy Gay around him. Whoever else they can bring in as well in the trade should be good. It's a good pick for Sacramento. Nik Stauskas, he's probably going to be a little bit of a later bloomer than the other 2, Joel and Andrew, just based on depth of that team and the position that he plays, shooting guard. But if he increases his ball handling skills, there's no reason why he can't be a 1 or a 2 guard in the NBA. It's just going to take him some time to adjust. I've been hearing a lot about Nik Stauskas for years and years and years. Growing up, we're about the same. He's about the same age as me, about 2 years younger, and I've been hearing so many things from so many different forums about Nik Stauskas, what his work ethic's like, how hard he works, what kind of person he is, and I have all the faith in the world that Nik Stauskas will be a great player for the Sacramento Kings. And finally, Toronto native Tyler Ennis, who is out of the University of Syracuse, was selected 18th overall by the Phoenix Suns. Now, everyone thought that if Tyler Ennis fell to a certain point that the Toronto Raptors were going to be able to pick him up. That did not happen as Phoenix grabbed themselves a good point guard out of the University of Syracuse. Very battle-tested point guard. He was a freshman last year for Syracuse, but he saw a lot of big minutes and made a lot of big shots for the Orange. And I think that's what Phoenix needs. They're on the cusp of making the next step in the NBA. If they had a really good season last year, just short of making the playoffs. I feel as though they can build off that, and they can use Tyler Ennis's help on the second string to help develop the rest of their team and help develop their team chemistry as well. And I hope that he does well. Toronto is getting hounded for their first round pick. I couldn't even tell you much about the guy specifically. They're just gonna have to answer for that, and hopefully that the pick works out. I think he's good. I'm sure he's a good player. I'm sure he's NBA ready. It's just not the popular pick that most people in that huge market of Toronto would like. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. Okay, that is it for NBA and NHL. Now we're gonna talk about the other world tournament that's going on, which is the World Cup of Soccer. And it is down to the final 16. It is the knockout round. And starting today, actually, the knockout rounds are beginning to start. I'm sure that Brazil and Chile is close to finishing, and that started at 11:45. And later today, on Saturday, is Colombia and Uruguay. Colombia is looking really strong out of their group. And Uruguay is without Luis Suarez, or the cannibal, I should call him. The vampire, yeah, the guy who decides to bite people 3 times when you're on national TV, international television. Doesn't make sense to me, but I think Colombia is going to come out of that. Uruguay is strong, but without Luis Suarez, they're not the same team. Hopefully Colombia. I wouldn't be surprised if Chile comes and defeats Brazil, but I wouldn't be surprised if Brazil kills them. So, good job. For Brazil, I really hope, obviously they're the favorites heading into this tournament, heading into the knockout round, so it just takes one at a time.
Chile-Brazil just tied 1-1.
It's full-time, 1-1? Yeah. Wow, so Chile and Brazil 1-1 at the time of this broadcast, which is 1:47 on Saturday. So let's go right to the end. It's full-time. It's going to go to some extra time and maybe some penalty kicks. Ooh. Fun. The most exciting thing in sports is penalty shots. Monday, we're going to have France and Nigeria, which is going to be an interesting battle. Nigeria was a really battle-tested team heading in, but it was more about character and depth for them getting to the round of 16. They lost in the quarterfinals of the... It's extra time, yeah. The Nigerians lost in the quarterfinals of the African Cup to Ghana, who were the African champions, but were not able to succeed and get into the round of 16. And they played some really tough pool play games, and they've got France, and that's going to be really, really tough. France seemed like they rolled through. Pool play, and that should be good. Germany, Algeria. I'm not going to discount Algeria for any hustle or heart that they may have, but Germany's way too strong. I feel like that game, it'll be close. I feel like it'll be 1 or 2-0, but Algeria might even score 1. I'm not too sure. 2-1, 1-0. We'll see. But I definitely got Germany. If I don't pick Germany, people are going to jump all over me, and as soon as I'm wrong, they're just going to kill me. So. Okay, moving on. Tuesday, we'll have another round of 16 matchup between Argentina and Switzerland, and that's a game that I really feel is going to be very exciting to watch. Yes, for sure. Switzerland has showed the ability to score throughout the tournament, and Argentina has showed the ability to hang on and win games late off the heels of Lionel Messi, who is arguably one of the best players in the game. But we'll see if he has enough to put Argentina to the quarterfinal round after seeing how Switzerland does. And the final game of the round of 16 is Belgium versus USA. That's going to be a good one, too, because Belgium had a really good pool play round. The Red Devils, are they? The Belgium Red Devils. They had a really good pool play, and I'm not going to discount anything that they've done. USA, I would say, limped into the round of 16. I was really hoping that Ghana would be able to go in because I like the way that they play. But, hey, good job for the USA. They made it to the round of 16 for their 2 World Cups in a row. And their program is building and building. But I'm going to take Belgium just because. If we're going to do this bracket all the way, my favorite to win... Oh, I completely missed a category, Alex. And guess which one is in that category? Netherlands and Mexico. Uh, Mexico had a really good pool play round. Their coach has been around for a long time, and he's an internet sensation now for his celebrations during pool play. But hey, there's nothing wrong with getting excited during games. El pollo,
The little chick
the little chick. That's
from
what.
the carnival.
Yeah. Well, Mexico has the hardest draw in the tournament, I believe, when they'll be facing the Netherlands Orange, and that's going to be a really tough game. I'm hoping that goes to extra time, maybe 1-1, 2-1, but Netherlands has a lot of offense. If Mexico steals it, that would be a really good victory for the tournament in general. Not so much for Netherlands, but I feel like it would really bring a sense of full circle for that, because Netherlands seem to crush everyone in the world in their path, and I would hope that Mexico puts up a good game.
Machine.
The Orange Machine, and they're a machine for sure. The other game on that day, which is Sunday, which is tomorrow, so I'm sure Alex will be up bright and early to watch that game, is Costa Rica versus Greece. I loved Costa Rica during pool play. They shocked the world by beating Uruguay with the opening game of the tournament, and they just rode that momentum all the way to their group victory, and have advanced for a good reason. So they'll be playing Greece, who also played pretty well. Actually, no, Greece struggled. Greece struggled during pool play. They didn't. They had to win their last game to get to the round of 16. I don't got Greece on this one. I've got Costa Rica, and if I could have one team that I feel is going to go all the way, I think the final is going to be Argentina and Brazil. And if that happens, I think that the whole continent of South America would erupt. And it could be interesting to see. They're on different sides of the bracket. It could happen. It could not happen. I hope it does, because that would be the best thing for soccer. But hey, I don't know what's best for soccer all the time. So if anyone makes it to the final, congratulations. And congratulations to all these players for representing their teams on the world stage. That is it for soccer. To close it off this week, I'm going to talk about a great sports ambassador that was lost in the Windsor sports community this past week. John DeNapoli was first and foremost, he was a good husband, a good father. He was a great man of sport. He was a great man of men. I owe a lot to John. He got me involved in the Windsor-Essex County Sports Person of the Year Awards a few years ago when I was a member of the AKO Fratman, which he was also a member of. He is a big reason why I decided to get into the media business, just because I liked the appeal of what he was doing, and I thought that I would be very good at that. John was a great ambassador of sports in Windsor-Essex County. I don't think there is any sport that he wouldn't go to and support if he didn't know anybody that was there. He helped at the University of Windsor. He helped out with WEXA, hockey, soccer, OUA hockey, and he coached all three of his daughters in their sports as well, including bowling and softball as well. So I just wanted to have just thank you to John DeNapoli for everything that he did for me. And may he rest in peace. And I hope that that his family is okay. If you're interested in donating anything to the John DeNapoli Children's Trust, you may do that. I'm sure you could find that through his Facebook page, John DeNapoli, JOHNDE, capital NAPOLI. He was 39 years old. That just about does it for everybody here at xcayz.tv. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for joining us in our coverage of the NHL draft, the NBA draft, the World Cup, and the unfortunate passing of John DeNapoli, one of the greatest sports ambassadors Windsor has ever seen. So from everyone here from Knoxstrom Digital Media and xcayz.tv, I'd like to thank you for joining us, and we'll see you soon for our next episode of Jock Talk with Brett Hedges. Thank you very much, and take care.